Hey there, everybody. Welcome back to another spooky episode of the Friday the 13th Spooktaculars. And as we all know, this is the final Friday.
Yes, there's no more Fridays after this.
Yes.
This is the ultimate Friday.
Yes, this is our last episode because this is the last miniseries. And this is the most ridiculous miniseries, so it seemed fitting that we should end like this.
Yes, it went out with a
bang.
with pages of bloody gore.
You go out with a bang and not a whimper, my friend. Right? And that is what they did. They said, we're pulling all punches. We're doing Jason versus Jason X. Now, if you don't know what Jason X is, that was the 10th installment of Friday the 13th. And it was basically Jason in space. But he becomes, at the end of that, Super Jason. He is... We'll fill you in on the story. So, I had to fill John in on this because he forgot
it's
how
been
he
so
gets into
long.
space.
All I told him is I remember it's Jason in space, and he's like, no, there's like 20 minutes of setup. I was like, I don't remember.
Yeah, how does he get into space? He can't fly. So, the setup is there's a government organization, much like the end of the last comic, Bloodbath, that was trying to study him. They do end up catching him and studying him. And in this secret base lab, it's like there's a cryogenic chamber and stuff. And he escapes, kills everybody in the lab except one girl who lures him down to the cryo chamber. She tricks him to go into the cryo chamber. She turns it on. He freezes. And then while he is freezing, he stabs through the machine, which creates a room full of the freezing
makes sense
material or whatever. She freezes as well then. Doesn't die because she gets stabbed when he stabs through the machine. And then it's like 500 years later. It just cuts.
And
it was a secret base.
A secret lab, so nobody ever checked.
No one else knew about it. He killed everybody that knew about it. So, 500 years later, it's Earth, but Earth is now dead. And people are coming to Earth from Earth 2. There's a new Earth that they found. And these kids or whatever, they're on like a school field trip to old Earth to find old artifacts or whatever. And they end up finding Jason and this girl. And they're like, oh my God, like, holy shit, we found a serial killer or whatever. And that's going to be super, get us a bunch of money and everything. And then, as you imagine, Jason thaws out. Jason kills everybody on the ship, except one of the people is an android. She blows him up with a bunch of like grenades and stuff because he's trying to kill her, but she doesn't bleed or die or anything. And he ends up falling on this machine that heals you instantly with like nanobots, which is the crux of this Jason X. Yeah, this is how he becomes Super Jason. So he falls on this machine as his head gets blown up, like half of his face gets blown up, his brain destroyed and everything. So that's basically like he's dead. This is the first time his head's ever been destroyed in the series. So he falls on this table, and the nanobots activate on accident. And they're like, oh, we got to fix this body, but there's only like 30% of it left. So we'll just put metal and stuff and cybernetics in place of body parts. So they make him Super Jason, basically, replacing anything gone, like his head. Is just now he's got one eye that's like a cybernetic eye. And his mask is now metal for some reason.
Well, we got to keep... he had a mask.
They don't explain that. They don't explain why the computer's like, he needs his mask. And maybe the computer's like, God damn, this motherfucker's ugly. I don't know. But either way, he's got a bunch of metal parts on him now. So then he terrorizes the rest of the people that are alive. He's much stronger, much more undefeatable even than he was before. Because now he's covered in metal and everything, and he's super strong. He's cybernetic. And then... what ends up happening is at the end of the movie, Jason X, he gets shot down, or he gets kicked out of the spaceship and falls into Earth 2's orbit. So he gets pulled down to Earth 2, and that's where this comic takes place, or picks up, is it has its own little lore. What happens after that? So what happens after that is they study Jason in a lab, just like on Earth 1. It goes bad again, but this time they're like, fuck you. We're going to shoot you into space. You can go away now. So they just shoot him back into space, and now Jason X is floating around Earth in orbit because he doesn't need to breathe or anything. He's Jason X, and he's Jason anyway, so who gives a shit? Apparently he doesn't freeze or anything. He's good. But The reason I told you all of that stuff about the cybernetic or the nanobots and everything is because it comes to play later on. Now that we're orbiting Earth 2.
In the year 2045, or sorry, 2455.
Wow, John. Learn how to read. 2455 AD. I'm surprised they still use AD in the future that far ahead. But either way. So there is a ship. It is the ship called Grendel. That was the original spaceship that Jason was stalking when he turned into Jason X. It is now derelict, waiting to be salvaged, or people find it and take it whatever they want from it because it's empty. But we see when his face got blown up, the original Jason, the part that blew up just blew up into the rafters apparently above the nanobots. So the half of his face and brain that was missing was actually just hanging up in the wires above the nano machine. So in the meantime, a group of salvagers does come, like pirates or whatever, space pirates, does come, hook up to the ship. They start salvaging things, looking around. They turn the power back onto the ship. So now the nano machine is awake, and the skull, the half skull from Jason, falls down onto the table because of the moving of them waking the ship up and everything. So they are looking around, and they're like, holy shit, there's a bunch of stuff here, dead people, whatnot. They're looking around. But then the nanobots are like, oh, we only have like a head, for this thing because the machine wakes up. Let's just take all the dead bodies lying around, and we'll use that organic matter to make a new Jason. Now, I will say, when they make the new Jason, he does have the same costume and everything on, so that is very well thought out machine. They're like, we need to make jeans again, Levi's, and we need a jacket,
and we need like a long brown
coat,
Dickies coat.
Yeah, a Carhartt. God damn it, Jason wears a Carhartt. So I thought that was funny. He also has his old machete and everything too. So basically, this thing makes Jason again, but old Jason looks like old Jason because he makes him out of body parts. Then we cut to a ship called the Fun Club, which is basically a cruise liner that is orbiting Earth 2. And they don't show it, but Jason X definitely has to land on this thing. They don't show Jason X get on it. They could have done that. I don't know why they didn't.
They could have had, they have a big picture of the ship. They could have had a little silhouette of just like
a Jason body,
guy with a machete, and you'd be like, oh, okay, there's a Jason guy.
You could totally put it in there, but they did not. I don't know why. You're just supposed to assume he's on this ship maybe already because, of course, there's a guy and a girl. They're having funsies, meaning she's getting naked. We're seeing boobies. And all of a sudden, the guy that's pulling down her underwear is getting his arms chopped off. And he's like, what the fuck? What's going on? And then turns out Jason X is now on this cruise liner. So he's terrorizing that ship. And lots of good gore and blood in this one. And then we see it's weird. It's like once old Jason comes back to life, Jason X has like a flash of his mother in his memory, and she starts talking about like, my son, he was a young boy when he drowned. His name was Jason. And so like, it's weird. It's basically he's having memories, and he's like, why am I having memories? I don't he doesn't have that part of his brain kind of thing. Like he's missing his memories that he should have, but they're in the Jason that was woken up just now.
Yeah, and so I guess they have like that link because they use some.
They have a psychic
material,
link, somehow. I mean, psychicness was brought in number 7, so we can establish that maybe he got psychic powers from that girl who trapped him in the lake or whatever. So there you go. And so anyway, like we said, there's the scavengers still on the ship. Now old school Jason is fully awake and fully capable of killing everybody. And they're looking around, and all of a sudden, one of them's like, "What's going on in here?" And Jason just cuts him in half. Then they're like, "Oh my god, we gotta run! There's a killer!" So they try to kill him, but he pretty much gets rid of everybody except one girl, who
She was back on the ship that docked. She was like, I guess, the pilot, and she's like, all right, you
Yes.
guys are in there, right, getting stuff.
Yeah, she was like there, hey, everything's good here. You guys good over there? And she just hears them dying
Yeah.
over the
She's the only
columns.
one we'll name because she lives for most of this. Melda.
Yeah,
her
and
name.
the thing that confuses me also was she looks exactly like one of the girls from Jason X. So I was like, is that supposed to be her? And I was like, no, I don't think so, but whatever. Anyway, so yeah, Melda is the space pilot or whatever of their ship. So she's hearing all this mayhem going on where old school Jason's murdering them, and she's like, oh my God, let's get out of here. So she's like, well, fuck it. If they're gone, I'm leaving. So she disconnects from the ship, but not before, apparently, old Jason gets on her spaceship. So she's going, and she sees the Fun Club's space cruiser and says, hey, can we board? I have something wrong. I can't land. I need help or whatever. There's some hydraulic break because Jason cut her hydraulics, I guess, or something. And so the Fun Club's like, yeah, you can board with us. Don't worry.
Sure, there's nothing crazy going on.
Nothing
over here.
going on. Nothing yet. I guess Jason X hasn't really gotten too bad yet.
I guess.
They don't know about it yet. He's only in one compartment or something. And so she boards, and we see right as she's climbing the ladder, he's like right behind her, climbing this ladder.
She doesn't hear the
Yeah, I don't think that's something people hear. It's not like he.
you don't hear. You don't, in space. No one can hear you.
You know, I think that was the mom. If anyone was doing it, it was the mom in the first movie. She was going.
Can you just imagine that she's actually the? You see her in the. What was that? Nothing.
Yeah. Wait, did you just say that with your mouth? No.
No. I literally just saw your mouth move.
No, you didn't. Jason was my boy. Yeah, so I can see the mom doing that for the first one, but Jason doesn't talk, so he's not doing it. So yeah. Anyway, she gets on the fun boat, and Jason's following behind her. She gets hassled by the like misogynist crew in the like docking area, but they're like, hey, let's go fix her ship, I guess. This bitch won't like put out or whatever. So they go down there to fix her ship, and who do they find? But Jason. Jason starts killing all of them and does very handedly. All they have is tools, I guess, so they can't fight Jason off. But he really fucks them up.
He like cuts the one guy's like the front of his face off from like his nose.
With no. He hits. He doesn't cut it off. He has a wrench. He has like a spanner wrench.
Oh, he pulls it from him.
And he and it's not sharp, so he just hits the guy's face with a wrench, and it pulls the skin off and his nose off and his front teeth off.
It's pretty fantastic.
So pretty brutal kill. He crushes a couple necks, which is pretty fun. I've never seen him do that in a movie. It's cool. And then he's able to actually get into the main docking area before they can lock it down.
I like that he gets in he kills a guy before he gets in the elevator, and then I just assume because it shows the up arrow, I assume he gets in and he's just boom. Pushes the button.
Oh yeah, he pushes the button. He knows where he's going. He's smart enough to use an elevator.
Jason's just sitting in the elevator. I just imagine all the blood dripping around with like the elevator music playing. And just being
Yeah, that's exactly what it'd be. A little Esquivel playing in the background.
Yeah.
Little girl from Ipanema, just for funsies. Yeah. Anyway, so what's her name? What's this girl's name? Milda. So Melda, the pilot for the spaceship's walking around this fancy party boat. She's like, "Fuck yeah, this is the kind of boat you want to get help from. I can party." And then she opens a lounge, and it just happens to be the lounge where Jason X is murdering everybody. So she's like, "Oh my god!" and sees Jason X murdering everybody. Then she turns around, and the old school Jason's right behind her. Like, he was about to murder her, too, and then all of a sudden Jason X walked out, and then there's this moment where she's like, what? And she turns around, and Jason X and Jason old school looks at each other, and they're like, huh? And then like
something familiar about you.
Yeah, and so I don't understand. I did at the end. I got at the end why this happened, but they don't explain this at all. But basically, each of them are like, you son of a bitch. You have something I need or whatever. You have my mama's memories. You have memories of my mama's, and those are my mama's memories. Each of them said that at the same time.
Yeah. I at first I was because I thought they would like it. I figured they would both be like, oh hey, like
Let's team up.
yeah, like Texas Chainsaw.
Did we just become best friends?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I thought they would be like, oh, we both have masks. We both have like this weird connection. You had a mom, I had a mom. Like I thought it would be something like that, and then yeah, they would kill people together.
Yeah, no. They look at each other and go, "You stole my memories." So like they know the other one has the memories that they want of the brains or whatever. Like, each one has a half of a brain basically of Jason. So whoever wins gets all the memories, and so and that's all Jason cares about, his mama's memory. So they just push Melda aside. She just kind of gets knocked around or whatever, but doesn't die. Then that's how the first issue ends, like them starting the fight. Then I will say, we get the best comic ever. It's the best comic ever. I'm just throwing that out there. #1 comic of all time. It is just literally an entire fight.
There's so many pages of this with no dialogue and
at all.
Just Jason and Jason fighting. Jason and Jason X.
Old school Jason, new school Jason. We're in it.
Old and busted, new hotness. Who's gonna win?
Exactly. So I was surprised how long old and busted lasted, because old Jason, he just made of people. He's just meat. He's not metal. He's not all this shit. But I mean, him and Jason X, they just start fighting. This is fun. They push. Jason X pushes Jason into the hot tub area where all these couples are like naked and fucking each other, and like they push each other into that area. So there's just all these people in this whirlwind of Jasons fighting.
Yeah, because they're still fighting. They're not really even paying attention to the people, but people who just happen to get in the way.
Wildly. They're swinging wildly and pushing each other through people and stuff. So like using like old school Jason will use bodies as shields or whatever. So all these women and men are getting chopped up and murdered, and they're all naked. The men are wearing very like, I guess you can't show a dick in comics, or at least right now. So at least back then. So they all have these really, really, really thin banana hammocks, we'll say.
Yeah.
And
very bulging banana hammocks.
Yeah, bulgy and thin. And then the ladies, some of them are topless, some of them are not. But either way, they're all scantily clad. And then Melda is like, she runs to the information desk. She's like, "Oh my god, we have to get help. People are dying." And it turns out it's a cyborg or whatever, a robot. She's like, "How can I help you?" It's like, "People are dying. Help! We need help." He's like, "Have a nice day," like because she's not able to help her with anything, and it's just great. Like they're just murdering all these people. Then I thought this was funny. They have the hot tub's like, "There's blood in the system. It is contaminated. I will be cleaning myself in 5.
Yeah, please step out of the way of the cleaning."
Yeah, and like this automatic door activates to be like, "I'm gonna clean no matter what." Like there's no safety on it or anything in case someone got locked in or something.
Yeah,
there's no way for it to tell there's a blockage. Like I shouldn't shut with the force of 1,000 men or something, because it shuts, and basically there's a lady who's trying to get out of this fucking hot tub. It's closing from like the sides, so she's in the middle, and there's no way to get out. It's deep enough that you can't really get to the edge or anything. And so she tries to climb out with like a ribbon that's hanging from the ceiling, but it breaks, and then she falls back in, and it fucking closes, chops her in half.
Yeah.
I was like, Jesus Christ, how fucking strong is this, mechanism or whatever? It's pretty crazy. But yeah, like it's ridiculous. It was like so bad that I'm like, this is the future. There's no OSHA in the future. Earth 2. They're like, hey, no safety mechanism.
No safety. No, we're good.
Fuck it. We can regrow people with nanobots now. Who cares? If they get cut in half?
Yeah, they're just getting new robot legs.
I guess if you don't die from severe things anymore, maybe you don't care anymore. Maybe you don't care about seatbelts because, hey, we'll just take that body and nanobots will fix it or whatever.
Exactly.
Bring you back to life. Hey, drive slower. All right. It hurt when you died, huh? All right.
Think about that next time.
Yeah, you think about that next time. So then Melda finally gets to the captain. And like I was saying, like Jason and Jason X are just kind of pushing their way towards her kind of on accident. They're not really trying to go towards her. They're just working their way through all these areas in the ship.
Yeah, they just happen to be fighting the same way she's running.
Yeah. And so she finally gets to the captain's quarters. He comes out and he's like, "How can I help you?" And Jason throws his machete, or Jason X throws his machete at Jason, and it hits the captain in the face, and it turns out he is also a android, so he's of no help. And then Melda pulls herself and the flight attendant that she was talking to on the way to the captain's quarters into the captain's flight chamber or whatever. Closes the door. She's a pilot, so she's like, okay, I'm trying to land this thing. I'm not a pilot of this thing. But Jason and Jason X are now like looking at each other toe to toe. They got fucking energies coming out of their eyes and faces, and their mom's talking to both of them at the same time.
We have to protect what Jason wants.
Yeah, like all this stuff. Basically, Mama's the spectral energy causing them to fight or something about memories. So, and I like this. Melda's like, hold on to your ass. Like, I was here like Sam Jackson, hold on to your butts. And then, she flies this fun club ship into Earth 2. She's able to land it without everybody dying and the ship exploding, so they all run out. When I say they all, I just mean Melda. And,
it only shows the two of them, so I would assume everybody else is dead.
Yeah, I'm assuming everybody else is dead or on top levels burning alive right now. So, and so then we see Jason X and Jason still fighting in the fires until finally Jason they basically just start cutting each other up. But because of Jason X's skeleton, because it's metal, even though Jason's getting some good hits on him, old school Jason he's obviously losing because his machete can't cut through this metal. There is like a wound on Jason X's head, which is going to come into play in a second. But basically, finally, Jason X is able to he does like a chokehold on Jason and pulls off his fucking head.
Yeah.
Even though old school Jason actually gets like a machete through his chest and everything. But it doesn't, you can't kill Jason,
Yeah. Jason X is like Super Jason.
Yeah, you can't kill Jason. But even like a normal Jason, you couldn't kill with a machete through the stomach. So
yeah.
Super Jason, you ain't going to do shit. So he rips off old school Jason's head. So we have established Jason X beats Jason.
Yes.
In canon. All right, so.
Does that sit well with you?
I would think you'd have to.
Yeah.
It's just still Jason.
That's true.
It's just Super Jason. So it'd be like, does Shredder beat Super Shredder?
No, I guess it was Super Shredder would beat. Yeah, that's true.
Yeah, so unless he's able to outthink him, but this ain't a thinking Jason. This ain't an assassin like Shredder or something. So
that's true.
So anyway, Jason X takes the head of old school Jason, throws his fucking old school mask on the ground, like fuck your hockey mask. Then he rips open Jason's skull and pulls out this half of his brain that he does not have. Then he proceeds to take that hole that old school Jason cut into his skull. He opens it up even further to just cram the old brain in because that's how it works. We all know that's how it works.
You just put. Well, we assume his body self heals of some sort.
That's true, I guess, but pushing brain in through bone and metal
through this through like a little cavity in the head.
Yeah.
I just imagine like squishing, like going like toothpaste, just like kind of like squeezing in the hole.
I don't know what brains feel like, but I don't know. I can't imagine that getting damaged. Jason X doesn't seem like a very nimble or delicate person, so
he gets it all in there though. You got to give him credit.
And then finally, his little dreams come true. He is reunited with complete memories of his mother, and they are able to live together in harmony. And now he's on Earth 2, waiting to terrorize Earth 2 world.
Bum, bum, bum. And it does show him standing on the edge of a lake, so maybe it's Camp Crystal Lake 2.
Yeah, they built the second one.
They built the same one.
Maybe it's a different lake, a better lake. Who knows?
A better.
Yeah. It's a lake that you can't, it's all 3 feet deep. Like you can't
drown in it.
You can't drown it. You can't escape either.
What? If you drown in it, it's your own fault because it's 3 feet.
Right. But I don't think Jason X is scared of water.
That's true.
He was in space for a long time. That's like water. That's how they train astronauts. They put him in a pool. Right. So anyway, that is the end of Jason versus Jason X. We hope you all enjoyed this.
And Melda lived.
Yeah, Melda lived. She was the heroine. She did live. There's always a heroine in usually.
How about
most
that?
movies, yeah. So, yeah. I mean, good for Melda. She might not live after this.
No, I mean, yeah, she'll probably die later.
Yeah. But anyway, I hope you all liked these Halloween Spooktaculars. We thought about it real hard when we were trying to figure out something to do for you all special this month. And
we like doing, especially around the holidays, like silly little extra things, and we hope you guys enjoyed it. It was definitely fun going through all the Jason comics now.
I think it was worth it. What would you say overall? We didn't rate this one. What would you think about this?
I mean, this one gets a thumbs up too. Like, this was a good read. I enjoyed it.
Yeah, it was just fun. It wasn't like the best thing ever. It was definitely not as fun as, or it wasn't as good as some of the other ones. Like, it wasn't as fun as How I Spent My Summer Vacation. I would say the Wildstorm ones were the best ones, though, right?
Oh yeah. So, I was gonna say, I think Summer Vacation was my favorite as well. And then I liked Pamela's story a lot, actually, or Pamela's Tale, pardon me. And I liked Bloodbath better than I liked what was the first one? The Badland.
Oh.
Yes, I liked that better than Badland. And this is like on par with Badland. Like, they both were like the story was okay, but like the deaths were all cool, obviously. Yeah. And then it was cool to see, like, because it's not something you get a lot in page format of, like, when there's fights, there's like 2 or 3 panels of fights and then people talking about it or like escaping and stuff. And like, we got like a whole Jason versus Jason X like actual see the whole fight in this comic. So
and we got to see cool. Yeah. I mean, I liked it. I enjoyed literally the whole last issue was just them fighting for the most part. Yeah. It was pretty fantastic. And we got, like, the kills and everything you want. They somehow fit everything you wanted in. But it still was like, it was good time, but it wasn't like it wasn't as good or as fun, I'll say, as like enjoyable as Pamela's Tale or How I Spent My Summer Vacation. So, these are super fun, and I think if you guys like Friday the 13th, you should definitely try to find them. I don't know if you will be able to because they're fucking all out of print and everything, but that's why we read this for you, because we were like, you're not going to be able to find them. They're like one-offs. They're kind of difficult to if you do find them, they're expensive. So, like, because they just are Jason, so they're $20 or $30 because they're Jason. So we figured we'd spoil you all and let you know what you're missing out on. And if you decide you need to spend $30 on it, now you know it's inside, instead of buying it and going like, well, that was shit. Why did I buy that? Or whatever, So we will get back to our regular schedule after Halloween. We got our last Halloween episode this Sunday, which is going to be My Friend Jeffrey Dahmer, which is I don't know if it's necessarily a horror book. I don't think it's as scary as fucked up as Ed Gein's one was, but it's definitely about Jeffrey Dahmer. So I've heard it's good, so I wanted to read it. Yeah,
it's definitely fits the theme.
It's not true crime though. It's like guy who knew Jeffrey Dahmer in high school or whatever.
Yeah.
So I don't think they're gonna go through like the murders or whatever, but it's about a serial killer. So I figured
it fits the theme.
It fits the theme. Yeah. So we'll hope you guys like this, and we'll see you guys on the next one.
On the next one.
Bye.